Hello everyone, it's Amy from Softwood Crafting, and I'm here today again to bring you another video. This time I want to share with you a card sketch that I got from Stampin' Up! Weekly. And so I kind of traced it out off my phone because I don't have any way to kind of show it through my phone. At least I don't know how to do that. But anyway, this was the card sketch, and it's a lot of overlapping squares and rectangles. And I thought it was really cute, and I really wanted to give it a shot on trying to do something with this particular card sketch. And let me show you what I came up with. It is this really cute card using the Pet Love Bundle. And so this, I just think it's, well, I think it's adorable. But anyway, so inside, we can open it up, it says, "I woof you always." I just think that this is such a neat card sketch to use, and I really liked how it came together with this particular bundle. So let me show you what comes in this bundle. Okay, so first of all, we have the stamp set. So it has a lot of good sentiments or greetings, whatever you want to use them for. So as "I woof you," and I'm going to use that today. "You're a possum pet sitter." And then for those who like to make pet condolences cards, you have the "No longer by your side, but always in your heart." "I love you always. Love comes with 4 paws." Has that cute neckerchief and 2 versions of the collars. And this is what I love the most, are these little paw prints. So it also includes a heart and a star. But super, super cute. And then these are the dies that go with this set. Okay, so you have the ability to cut out the collar. You have a heart. You actually have 2 hearts, but one popped off when I was trying to get it off my cut and emboss machine, and it flew, and I don't know where it went. So these paw prints actually like cut out within the paper itself. They don't cut out little paw prints for you to use. You have a bone, a mouse, a little fish bone. You have a ball, and the circle goes so that you can do 2 colors for your ball. The scarf, it comes with a way to do it with polka dots, and a little heart collar piece. And then this is the claps for the collar. So, and I'll show you how to use those. So I also used, in making this card, the perennial dies, or the perennial postage dies. And what I did is I used these 2 squares. Well, let me put it this way. I cut out a lot of squares, and then I kind of mix and matched and figured out what I used. I used this side, these 2 square dies, and then I used these 2, the 2 smallest of the rectangles in making my card. How about that? All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started making this card. And so we're going to start with a piece of cloud cover that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and give this a good crease with our bone folder. We're going to really burnish this. There you go. And I have it stuck because I have my sticky silicone sheet there. Let me turn it over and see if that helps. Okay, so then I have, for the insert, I have a piece that is 5 1/4 by 4. So this is what we're going to use to stamp for the inside. Okay, I went ahead and did all my die cutting ahead of time because I know it takes so much time to get that done. So I did do it ahead of time. I have this piece. I don't even know what DSP this came from. It is retired, but it was just this one lone sheet that was sticking between different stacks of paper. It has wood on the other side, so it was some sort of DSP that did a lot of like huge background pieces, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know what paper pack it came out of, because it was just there by itself, but I thought it was perfect with what I wanted to do. So we're going to go ahead and start by, let's go ahead and glue this trim down. And this piece of trim is 5 1/4 by 1 inch. Okay. So here we go. I'm just putting it right up to the edge of the card. Okay. And now we're ready to start building our pieces to go on the card. So here we go. We can start with the collar, just kind of putting it together. I have the little track, and so it has some little fold lines, and we're going to fold those pieces. It is a little difficult because I used silver metallic paper, and it's pretty kind of thick. So I think I'm hoping by doing this it'll get a little flatter than what I had before, but it's not super flat. Okay, and then let's do the other side. Okay. I don't think I didn't do that one very well. Let's see if we can do it from this end. Yeah, I didn't do it. It didn't fold on the line for me. See, well, I don't know want to mess it up because I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but I also don't want to tear my clasp. I don't know if there's... So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue on the inside because I want the front part. I did it before. I did it on the back, and then now my collar piece sticks up real big. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to turn it sideways. Okay, and I'm going to go over the bottom where it has that bump, and this is where I'm going to stick this to the collar first. Boy, my fingers sure get sticky, and that does not want to stay. So I am going to have to use the back. So here we go. Let's put some here and here. And then we'll just hold that down. Make sure it's centered. And just kind of hold it for a little bit. Boy, it's tough. It's giving me issues today. So just holding it. So let's see if we can get it to stick, if anything, to itself. And it just wants to stick to my fingers. Let me try my bone folder. That might help. I may have to put this under a brick in order to get it to stick today. I don't know why it wants to give me issues today, but probably because I'm filming a video. Ah, there we go. And it's probably off balance now. It doesn't look too horrible. But anyway, there you go. And I love this detail right here of the little clasp that goes into the collar to hold it. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so we're going to set that aside for the moment. All right, so let's go ahead and build our ball. So I used basic white to cut out the design piece, and then I'm using the circle piece of Secret Sea. And so let me add a little bit of glue to the back of this. So if you have adhesive sheets, you could cut this out on an adhesive sheet, and then you could just peel the backing off and end up with kind of like a sticker. And there we have the ball to put later. We need to put our little hearts. This is the smallest rectangle in Secret Sea. And what I did is I cut out 2 pieces or 2 hearts using strawberry slush, right? So let me use my take your pick tool. Just makes it so much easier, I think, to handle these really small pieces. There we go. We're going to stick that down. And oh my gosh, all that glue. I used very little glue and it still managed to squirt out on me. Okay, so let's try to do this one a little better. I may have just squished it just a tad too hard. All right, so there we go. We have that piece now ready to go. We need to put our bones. I cut out 3 bones from cloud cover scrap. And then I'm going to put it on the smaller of the squares that I cut out in basic white. Okay, so we're just going to kind of put a little bit of glue and put those, just kind of crisscrossing them. I hear my dog pitter-pattering around outside. Poor Penny is not pleased with me right now for some reason. She's been ignoring me. And then the last one, I just like to put kind of like a pattern so that you can kind of see that there are 3 bones there. Okay. I don't know if 3 seems to be the magic number for me. And then we're just going to kind of add that there to the top. So we have that piece ready to go on the piece. Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and stamp our puppy feet in Secret C. Or I should say puppy feet, the footprints. I would call them puppy feet. I'm going to go ahead and put those on using Secret C. And it is the second to the smallest. Uh-oh. That is not quite adhered. Let's try sticking that down over here. Okay. All right, tap, tap, tap. Yeah. I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. I'm trying to get over and see, but I just love these little puppy footprints. And there we go. Move that to the side. And then what I did is I went ahead and cut out, die cut from the polka dot piece in Strawberry Slush along with the bow tie. And so what we're going to do is we are going to put those 2 pieces on the full outline of the scarf, and we're just going to adhere it on, and then it'll create this cool Strawberry Slush with white polka dot scarf for our piece. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of glue. Again, you could have used adhesive back to do this. I didn't think about it at the time I was cutting them out. And there we go. And now we're going to put on the bow, the tie-off piece over here. And you know what? I really need to put up that Secret C before I stick my hand in it, because I'm awful close to it. And I do have a tendency to stick my hands in my ink. Okay. Now on my card, I actually stamped, you can see this XOXO in Secret C, but I'm thinking about maybe I should do it in Strawberry Slush. No, I think I'm going to keep it with the Secret C because it kind of makes it stand out against that Strawberry Slush here and here. Thought about it. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our little heart. Now this XOXO stamps that actually came from a old paper pumpkin kit, from a Valentine's kit. So, but I like the way, because it fit on the heart perfectly. Okay, whoops. Let's get that, make sure that's inked up. Again, I apologize if my head gets in the shot because I'm trying to make sure I'm centering it. And I hope it's straight. It looks pretty good from there. Yes, I like that. Okay, and that is all. Oh, let's do our stamping for our inside. And I'm using the silicone mat because I'm using photopolymer, and I just need that little extra cushion. Let me make sure my paper is straight. Let me go over to that side. And I have the stamp already here. I woof you. Just think that's so cute. So I'm going to ink that up. Okay, and so I am, again, I hope I can, let me move this over so I can see if I can make sure I'm getting it straight. I like to use my grid lines to help me out. I'm putting it towards the top. Okay, there we go. And finally, I want to stamp at the bottom here in Strawberry Slush the always. I woof you always. All right, so here we go. Now, with photopolymer stamps, they're going to stain, especially if you use red, but as long as you clean them, they're not dirty. They're just for some reason always retain the ink. So I'm going to turn mine a little bit sideways. And there we go, always. So sweet. All right, let's go ahead and put this inside our card. And I'm using the Tombow all-purpose glue. I've been trying to get some more Seal Plus to use for some events, but it's still not available. Got all sold out when everything went on sale, so I'm still waiting for it. Okay, so, all right. Now we're getting ready to do the card. So let me go ahead and give it another good burnish. Lay it a little, so hopefully it'll be a little flatter. So what I did is I just kind of took the pieces and I started kind of arranging them where I thought this particular piece, there was a lot of overlapping. And so I want to hold into that idea, but at the same time I want, oh, I didn't do the ball. And the ball needs to go up on dimensionals. Let me grab some dimensionals. And let's go ahead and get those done. Let's go ahead and put our ball in. All right, so this I need to pop up on a dimensional. The collar is going to go on a dimensional. You just want to be careful that you don't get them to where they can be seen. Let me add one to the back of the clasp. Okay. I'm not going to take off the backings yet because I want to make sure I'm putting this where I want. This is going to go flat, but my scarf I'm going to also put up on dimensionals. So let me add a few here. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to stick these down until I'm pretty sure where I want to have everything. So let me, this one up at the kind of the top. This to overlap there. My collar. Let's see. This overlaps this piece here like that. And then I think everything's just a tad too low here. Let's move this up a little bit. Let's move this up a little bit. This would go up. Then this would be about right here, overlapping those two pieces. Okay, I think I'm ready. So let's go ahead. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to start with this piece here. Let's add some glue. And so I'm going to overlap the trim piece. Uh-oh. Here we go. Everything now wants to attach itself to me. So let me just make sure this was where I kind of wanted it, so it kind of overlaps. Yeah, about right there. I just like the way these colors go together too. Let me take off the backs to the dimensionals. And if I were smart, I would have picked up my take your pick tool, but I didn't. Was not on my mind at the time. All right, so let's go ahead and, yeah, you want to make sure it doesn't go off the front base of your card. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to add the collar. And this one does extend. I know in the card sketch it does not extend over on the trim, but the collar is pretty big, and I wanted it to be the piece that showed these overlapping, not these overlapping, but these, the pieces that went off in sections here. I'm just kind of substituting that. All right, so now I'm going to take off the backing here. We're going to add our little tag for the collar. I'm just going to kind of slide it under a little bit. Oh, you know what? I better glue these other pieces because they're going to be underneath. All right, so let's start with the ball. Okay, so let's see. Okay, like right there. We'll add our bones. There we go, a little bit of overlapping to the strawberry slush. And now we're ready to add our tag because it's also an overlapping piece as well. And for our final touch, to kind of fill in some of the gaps, I cut out these 3 stars with the die. Oops, I didn't hold that on sticky enough, and now my glue wants to stick to it. Let's try that again. Let's take off some of this excess glue. All right. Go for our next one. I do need to make sure I have them right side up. Technically, there's not a right or a wrong to this. It's just that one side just looks better than the other. Okay, let's add that there. And then our last one. We'll stick right there. And there we go. We have our stamps, our card kite. We could use it as a Valentine's Day card because I woof you. But I think, and that's what kind of what I had in mind when I started doing this. I was like, man, I think this would make a cute Valentine's Day card. And then, of course, Stampin' Up! Sent that sketch. I said, oh, I'm going to try to make it with that sketch to be something that's like a non-traditional Valentine. But anyway, here we go, using Secret C, Basic White, Strawberry Slush, and Cloud Cover. And so right now, during the month of January, we're in the month where the mini catalog has come out. This is not in the mini catalog. This is an online exclusive because it's still available. And you can go online, and if you spend $50 or more, you will receive a $5 coupon to use in February because it is bonus days through the end of January. And if you spend $75 or more, you'll be able to purchase the product of the month, which is a stamp set of sentiments. And it is such a pretty font. I should be getting mine on Monday. I can't wait to show it to you so you can see what it looks like. So anyway, I just want to say if you could hit subscribe, like, leave a comment, it would really help out my channel. But I really appreciate you all watching. And please leave me a comment on anything that you like about the card. Thanks, and I will see you later.